Imagine standing above a hole so deep that if you dropped a stone into it, it would take several seconds before you could even imagine how far it had fallen. It sounds like science fiction, but this hole is real. Hidden in a remote part of northwestern Russia is the deepest hole ever drilled by humans. It is called the Kola Superdeep Borehole, and even after decades, no one has ever drilled deeper into the Earth's crust. The project began in 1970 during the Cold War. At that time, the Soviet Union wanted to understand what was hidden beneath the Earth's surface. Instead of exploring space, scientists decided to explore the planet beneath their feet. Their goal was simple but incredibly ambitious: drill as deep as technology would allow. Year after year, giant drilling machines worked day and night. Progress was painfully slow because the deeper they drilled, the harder the rocks became. After many years of effort, they finally reached an astonishing depth of 12,262 meters, or more than 12 kilometers below the surface. To put that into perspective, if you placed Mount Everest upside down inside the hole, its peak still wouldn't reach the bottom. But reaching that depth came with unexpected problems. Scientists believed the temperature would be around 100 degrees Celsius. Instead, they discovered temperatures close to 180 degrees Celsius. The heat was so extreme that the rocks no longer behaved like solid stone. They became soft and flexible, almost like plastic under enormous pressure. The drilling equipment simply couldn't continue any deeper. What they discovered underground surprised scientists in many ways. Tiny fossils of ancient microscopic sea creatures were found several kilometers below the surface, proving that these rocks had once been part of an ancient ocean. They also discovered unexpected amounts of water trapped deep inside the Earth's crust. This water wasn't flowing like underground rivers. Instead, it was locked inside minerals under immense pressure, changing scientists' understanding of how our planet works. Over the years, strange stories began spreading across the world. Some people claimed the drill had reached hell. Others said workers lowered microphones into the hole and heard terrifying screams coming from below. These stories became famous in newspapers, television shows, and later across the internet. The truth, however, is much less mysterious. There is no scientific evidence that anyone heard screams or discovered anything supernatural. Those stories were simply myths that grew larger every time they were retold. In reality, the greatest challenge wasn't monsters beneath the Earth, it was the incredible heat and pressure created by nature itself. Eventually, the project was abandoned because the technology of that time could no longer survive the extreme conditions. Today, the hole has been sealed, but it still holds the world record as the deepest artificial point humans have ever created on Earth. It's fascinating to think that we have sent spacecraft beyond our solar system, landed robots on Mars, and explored the deepest parts of the oceans. Yet we have barely scratched the surface of our own planet. The center of the Earth lies more than 6,300 kilometers below us, meaning the deepest hole humans have ever drilled doesn't even come close. So the next time you look at the ground beneath your feet, remember that an entire hidden world still exists below you, waiting to be explored. And maybe one day, with better technology, humanity will finally discover what lies even deeper.